costume for today.
I'm Freddy Ghost.
I am currently standing in my garage. It is Monday morning. Yesterday, Sunday, I spent like 5 hours working on amazing lesson plans, organizing things, making lists of things I was going to copy, all the stuff I was going to do this morning when I got to school. I had woke up extra early today because I wanted to be in my classroom 2 hours before school started because I was a teacher with a plan and it was going to be awesome and I was going to do this and that and blah, 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 blah. Well, here it is. It's already, school starts in about an hour. I'm waiting for my husband to get home because my car keys are gone. I've torn my whole house apart. I mean, apart. Sofa cushions ripped out. My purse empty, dumped on the floor. My teacher bag empty, dumped on the floor. Kitchen drawers searched. I can't search the trash because today is trash day. And if my car keys are in the trash, it is in the bottom of that there dumpster. They're at the very bottom with about 8 feet of lawn clutter and other things on top of the kitchen trash. I cannot get all this stuff out of there. Seriously, it's too heavy. So we had to actually pull the trash off the curb, bring it back to the garage, and now we have to come home today and search this. My husband lost his car keys at the bottom of Fletcher's Pond, about 7 years ago. And because the car key is about $250 to replace, he never bothered to replace his. Now my car key is gone. So we have a car. And we don't own any keys for that car. Tomorrow's Halloween, and now our top priority became getting keys for the car. Yeah, hot mess. I'm a vlogger. That's what I do for my second job. And at the moment, I am complaining to the camera. That is my babysitter, wondering why is there a crazy woman in the garage talking to herself. Yeah, good day. It's going to be a great frickin' day. I am now in my car. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm in my husband's truck because my car is sitting in my driveway at home. And now you're thinking to yourself, Tina, why on earth are you vlogging while driving? Well, that is because I am actually sitting still. I am now on the freeway, not really moving, which is why my face is red. I have brake lights in my face. I am at a complete standstill on the freeway, and I'm going to be late for work. I am never late for work. I'm the teacher who's always 90 minutes early for work. This is like my worst nightmare come true. And, we're moving. Woohoo, we're moving. I'm doing 4 miles an hour. So, yeah, I will talk to you later. Brake lights again. So I beat the kids in the room by 1 whole minute. 1 minute. Basically, I had time to park the car after sitting in traffic for 50 minutes, go pee, and go pick up the kids. My desk, nothing is on my desk, nothing is ready. The children are here, and yes, they're all looking at me right now because they've never seen me vlog before. I am stressed, people. I am so stressed. It is not even funny. So, it is lunchtime, and I already feel like I've run a 5K. For lunch today, it is the Lean Cuisine tortilla crusted fish. Love this one. It's so delicious. I will be having a Dannon strawberry yogurt and my ever loyal Diet Pepsi. So that's for lunch today on the diet plan. This is one of my favorite meals, actually. I am exhausted. It was like you walked in the door and you hit the ground running. Luckily, though, I was very blessed. My para, who's here for my child with special needs, she saw the state I was in, and she just looked at me. She goes, "What can I do?" And it's like, "I need you to do this and this and this and this." And God bless her, she did it. She ran to the copy machine, made the copies I needed to get things done for today. She assembled, chopped and stapled all of my little books that I needed for things. She ran off my word cards for the children to take home their word wall / snap words home to study, because we're going to be testing the snap words by either Friday or Monday. I'll be testing them one at a time to see who in here knows their snap words. But then, so they come in, we have breakfast, we get the calendar done, and I get them going on their read to self. And I'll be honest, I am totally guilty today of doing what I call faux workshop. That's where you get the kids doing reader's workshop, and then you proceed to not work with any kids. You, get yourself together and do what needs to be done. I try not to do that. I don't like doing faux workshop, but today, I walked in today and the room was still a mess from Friday, because I'll be honest, Friday I was exhausted and I just kind of left with the intention of coming in extra early Monday morning to get things ready for the day. Well, we all know how that went today. But yes, we did faux workshop, and then I had them do their partner work. I managed to get my desk cleaned off, get the materials ready for my para, got everything done, and then I had the math materials pulled out. I was just getting ready to do math when our computer person walked in. I was like, your kids need to do makeup NWEA test. I need to test 12 students, and we have to test in your classroom because there's nowhere else to do the testing, and the testing has to be finished by today. Okay, so that meant 12 kids were testing, which meant I had to keep the other 18 silent. Do you have any idea how hard it is to keep 18 6-year-olds quiet, like quiet, for 45 minutes? Yeah, it's not easy. So my math lesson got put on hold, coloring sheets came out, handwriting sheets came out, independent work came out, and that was what they did. And I basically spent about 45 minutes shushing them. So it was not a fun morning. And unfortunately, I have 9 children who this afternoon need to come and do another NWA makeup test. So, I hate to say it, but today ended up being another throwaway day, which I hate those. The testing has to be done. It's mandated by the state and the district. It's part of the curriculum plan. So I understand the tests have to be done. But, after last week being just rather neurotic, I was really looking forward to coming in today and having, I am sorry, this stupid cough won't go away. But I was really looking forward to just coming in this week and having a somewhat sane, routine week, even though, yes, tomorrow's Halloween. I was holding on to the belief that I could still make this a relatively sane week. It has not started off that way. So I'm going to be quiet now, eat my food, and cough some more. Talk to you soon. Good morning. Happy Halloween. It is cold outside. It is so cold. At the moment, it's like drizzling and windy, and wowzers is it cold. Although the weather is supposed to improve a lot before the kids actually go trick-or-treating tonight, which is nice. So I am going to try to vlog some of Halloween today, but I'll be honest, I cannot photograph my firsties. Many of my parents said no because, these are their babies. They're being overly protective, which I have no problem with. So I cannot show them. And then I will show you, though, my costume that I'm wearing. I did bring in here, where is the bag? You've seen the costume before. I'm re-wearing one that I've had. I have a bunch of costumes, but this is one. It's the witch with the blue. I'll show you it later. I did bring in Halloween bingo. I got this from Target a couple of years ago. So it's a bingo game. I'm not sure how this is going to go because honestly, I don't know how many of my ESL students will be able to actually put a bingo chip on the witch or the bat or the skeleton. I don't know if they have the vocabulary. We will give it a try, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, oh well. it doesn't work, but we will definitely give it a try. Oh, I forgot to bring my sweater. Oh, it's gonna be a little chilly for me today. No sleeves. I did run off these little packets right here. Pull this out. These are from Party City. I got this probably about 5 years ago, and I like this. It's a little packet that comes at Party City, and it's just 6 pages. And so you just run them off back to back, so it actually ends up being 3 pages when they're done. I will have to help the children with the word scramble. They won't be able to do this. But it's a little packet to keep them busy. I have one for Halloween, I have one for Christmas, and I have one for Valentine's Day. Those are really nice, and I think to buy that at Halloween USA, it's like a 5-pack of individual sheets. You get 5 of each sheet. So like if you were having a party at your house, it would be enough for 5 kids, and it was like $1.99. And I just made sure that I kept a master copy for myself, so I just reuse those year after year because it's quick, it's easy, and the kids really like them. It keeps them busy and engaged for a little while. I was going to buy donuts today. I did not buy donuts today. And here is the reason why. I technically have 30 children on my roster, which means if I went to Tim Hortons this morning, I would have had to have bought 30 donuts. But I usually will have 3 to 4 kids absent on Halloween. There's usually the one poor child who's sick. You know, they wake up and they're sick today. Then there's going to be the one child whose parent will keep them home because they're afraid of potential behavior issues today. Today might be more than their child can handle. Then there's always that 1 or 2 people who keep their child home because they perceive Halloween to have a negative connotation. They don't make a fuss, they don't go to the principal, they don't demand that the day be canceled or anything, but for their own reasons, they just view Halloween as negative, so they just keep their child home and they don't participate. Which, you know, as a teacher, I appreciate that. If you want to not participate in something, this is America. That is your prerogative. You do not have to participate in something. I think what makes me sad though is when you have this, you know, 1 or 2 people who feel like, well, I don't think anybody should participate in this, so we're going to make a huge controversy out of it and make it get canceled for the entire school. So that's something where, you know, if you want to stay home on Halloween, go ahead, stay home, you know, and do something that you and your family enjoy doing today and make a day of it. But yeah, so knowing that I'm going to have a couple of kids absent today, yet I would still have to buy 30 donuts just in case they all showed up. I didn't want the donuts in the classroom. I have a real weakness for cake and donuts. And if I had donuts in this room and suddenly I had 2, 3, 4 leftover donuts in this room, oh, I'm so eating a donut. Diet or no diet, I am so eating a donut or 2. Okay, let's be real here. And I can resist candy. I can look at a pile of candy right now with my diet supplements and go, no thank. In fact, we've had candy in my house for the last week. We've had chocolate and Reese's and Kit Kat bars, and I'm able to say no to all of it. Hands down, not a problem, no. I can say no to chips and Doritos and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I've been fine. I don't think I could say no to a fresh donut. The temptation would just be too great, and I would crack. And then I would beat myself up over, like, what did you do? What did you do? Yeah, you enjoyed a donut for, 3 whole minutes. and now you just consumed, 1,200 calories because you ate 2 of them, you dum-dum. Yeah, that would be me. That would totally be me, and I would be miserable. So I have chocolate for my students today. Uh-oh, my battery died? I did purchase chocolate for my munchkins in my room today, but I did not go to Tim Hortons and get the donuts. And yes, I can't believe I should just spend like 5 minutes talking about donuts. Okay, so I'm going to put the camera down though, because I do need to get a few things ready for today. I'm still going to have a normal morning. We are going to do Reader's Workshop today. I will do a read aloud. It'll be a Halloween read aloud, but I'm going to do my read aloud, and I am going to teach a math lesson today. Bummer, my battery's died. And because party days are crazy days, there's absolutely no reason to start the craziness at 8 o'clock this morning. We will wait until after lunch for madness to ensue. So I just want to take a moment to show you some of the cute little prizes and things I bought for winning the games that we're going to play today. So I have here, first of all, I have enough rings for every kid in the class. And these are really cute because, one, they're not just normal spiders, but they come with a little mini glow stick inside of them. And so you crack the glow stick in there, and then it will actually make the ring glow on your finger, so the kids can wear these tonight when they go trick-or-treating. We got bats, jack-o'-lanterns, and skeletons. And then for some of the prizes, I have the glow stick necklaces. They'll win if they win bingo or silent ball or some of the other games we're going to play. And then these are really cool. These are light up bracelets, and you can push the button to make it turn, or you can just leave it turn the button on all the way, if I can get my finger to do that, and it just stays lit. I thought those were amazing. So these are all from the Target dollar spot. And I bought one little jelly girl. I would have bought more of these because my kids like stretchy things. I've noticed one of their favorite prizes in the prize box are like those stretching slap hands that hit a wall. So I would have bought more, but I could only find one of her at the dollar spot. And then the book we're going to do for our read aloud this morning is one of my classic favorites, Eve Bunting's Scary, Scary Halloween, with the pictures by Jan Brett. This book, the pictures are just beautiful, and I like to read it in a super spooky voice, and I find all grade levels love that book. So just getting things ready for the fun. Another quick thing I want to show you, I have mentioned in here that I do like partners of the day to try to motivate them to work really hard during their Reader's Workshop time, and other times of the day where I'm looking for the best student who really showed effort, because I am not above bribery, or as many of you guys put in the comment section, incentives to help motivate my students. So up there I have a normal treasure box filled with the Oriental trading stuff that you guys have seen, those spiky balls, hand clappers, the mini frisbees, and different little koosh ball type things. So that's all in there. But I have a second treasure box that right now filled with lollipops. I don't know what it is with little kids, excuse me, losing my voice again, but I find that they would rather have a lollipop than a piece of chocolate, which I find unbelievable, because when I was a kid, it was exactly the opposite. On Halloween night, when I came home, the first thing that got eaten was chocolate. Lollipops, those came in dead last. You know, that was what you ate when there was nothing good left in your sack of candy. The children I've noticed over like the last 5 or 6 years, they would much rather have a lollipop, a Jolly Rancher, Starburst, Skittles than the chocolate. So Target right now has just these massive bags of Dum Dums and Tootsie Pops. And with today being Halloween, tomorrow Target is going to have bags and bags and bags of Halloween lollipops that they're going to want to unload. So I bought these 3 bags about a week ago, and I did get them on sale. They're like 3 bags for $8 or something like that. But I have every intention tomorrow on the way home from work of going to Target. At Target, they have this one big bag of Dum Dums for $9.99, 300 Dum Dums. And so I'm hoping and praying that tomorrow, with it being Halloween over, that they'll have that bag like 20 to 30% off, and I can score that giant bag of Dum Dums, which is an entire year's supply, for like $7, $8. So that is the plan for tomorrow, because the Dum Dums are only 20 calories each. So if the child wins a Dum Dum, it's 20 calories. It's not like you're giving them an ice cream sundae or anything like that. So, but yes, but the kids love them, and that silly little lollipop is such an incentive to them that they will do almost anything you ask them to do to get it. It is lunchtime. We actually had a great morning. Honestly, I am so happy that I kept it business as usual. This morning, we actually did some written worksheets in here this morning for reading. We almost never do worksheets in here, but I wanted to do some classic fill in the blank sentences using their word wall words or snap words, whichever term you use. I kind of find I use both of them interchangeably in the classroom, and the kids know that too. So we actually did some fill in the blanks where we would read the sentence, read it with the first choice. Nope, doesn't make sense. Read the sentence again, read it with the next choice. That one makes sense, and put in the word, because even though, I would like them to have their nose in books for Reader's Workshop, at the end of the day, they do still need to know how to choose an answer and put in the line. They do still need to know how to fill in a blank. They do still need to know how to write on the line or how to mark an answer choice. So those types of worksheets, while under no circumstances should you be doing those every day, like we used to do back in the olden days of teaching, they are still something that you do need to do, I find, at least like once every 2 weeks. It is okay to do a worksheet like this where you are writing an answer choice. Today we did a worksheet where they had to write the sentence and put the capital letter at the beginning of the word, put the period or the question mark at the end of the sentence. And so we would read the sentence, and the sentences were made from their snap words, and then we would decide, okay, is this a telling sentence? Is this a asking sentence? So we were investigating the sentences. It wasn't just busy work. It was modeled work. It was discussed, and then we would write our answer choices. Plus, even a skill of just copying off the board. For a couple of my little darlings in here, that is a skill they are still working on. So that kind of work, it has its place. A very, very small place, but it does have its place. And I do find myself that on a day like today, where they're kind of walking in the door just a little crazy because they're excited, it's Halloween, we're having a big party this afternoon, that kind of a work is really focused and it's on task. It is whole group work, so you're engaging them in a lesson that is helping to eliminate some distractions and maybe bring that hyperactivity down just a little bit. So I found those to be perfect solutions for this morning's reading work. We really spent a lot of time on those snap words, going over them and reading them in a variety of sentences and little short stories. So that was great. That was really, really great. And then for math, we started off doing our change stories. We're like talking about our diagrams here, where we have start, change to more, or change to less, and then modeling our lesson. And then I noticed I was losing them. Uh-oh, my watch is beeping. After I did the modeled math lesson on the carpet, I kind of noticed I was starting to lose them because this is one of those days. So I was starting to lose them. So at that point, I gave them some little independent math work where I literally just kind of cut off a small amount of addition problems, and every child was given a baggie of counters, and I put them together in partners. And I try to make sure that I'm either putting equal skill partners together or a high and a low together. You never want to put two struggling math students as partners because then there's like no one to turn to for help when one of them doesn't know what to do. So I kind of arranged my partners like that, and they just did counters with, making the groups and counting them up, and that kept them busy for about 20 minutes. And then we just played some math top it, domino top it, and then it was lunchtime. And now I need to go put my costume on just in case we have indoor recess because it's snowing. Seriously, it's snowing. Not a lot, but there is a little bit of snow falling from the sky. So I need to change into costume real quick. So here is my costume for today. It's the one I wore 2 years ago. And I like this one. It's a witch. It's really actually pretty comfortable. Sometimes the costume is just really uncomfortable or scratchy. This one's soft. So if you follow my vlogs, you saw this one 2 years ago, and it's funny, it's been in my closet ever since. I never bothered to put it in storage where my other costumes are. So last night, I literally just grabbed it, shoved it in my bag, and thought I would wear it one more year.
I'm afraid of no ghosts.
The kids have all gone home. The day is over. It was a very nice party. It was kind of mellow, which honestly, I like mellow. I do. I'm in favor of mellow. We had a very short dance party in here, which I got a little bit of like their costume from here down. So a little bit of a dance party in here. Then they went to specials. Then they came back and we did tappers. We did silent ball. We did some coloring sheets. We watched Winnie the Pooh. The Heffalump, boo to you, Winnie the Pooh. And then we went home. That was it. It was a nice day. Wrap things up. It was funny though because it was not planned. It really wasn't. But I swear every teacher in this building today was a witch. And I said, okay, at this point, we need to just start our own coven because hello, there's a lot of us here. Everyone was a witch. It was too funny. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy day after Halloween. I am moving really slow this morning. I will not be getting to school early today. I'll be getting to school right on time, which will still be an hour before school starts, but I'm not going to try to get there an hour and a half or 2 hours early. I am tired. I'm very tired. I slept well. I get up so dang early. It's like never enough. It's just not enough. So I am not looking forward to today because a lot of people think that teaching on Halloween is the hardest part of Halloween. No. The hardest part of Halloween for teachers is the day after Halloween. Because today the children I will have one of two kinds of kids in my room. Obviously, I will have the oversugared, overstimulated, hyper children in my room. The other group of children are going to be the catatonic, exhausted, can't wake up children. And both groups of children have difficulties in trying to teach. One group is bouncing off the walls, which, we've all been there. The other group just can't focus. So you're talking and all they hear is blah, 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 blah. Because all they really want to do is go home and go back to bed. And personally, I would like to join them. I would also like to just stay home today and go back to bed. But it's going to be a long day. And what I'm planning on doing today, I'll be honest, because I already know the challenges I'm going to face today, in my classroom, I'm planning a very structured day. Today, a lot of the lessons are going to be teacher-centered lessons by design. Just because I think today, if I leave a lot of the lessons to be student-centered lessons, I'm gonna have kids just put their heads down and go to sleep because they are still little babies, or I'm gonna have kids who will just be off the wall. So today will be day 2 of teacher-centered lessons. Although yesterday I only taught for half a day because the afternoon was a party. I wasn't even gonna try to teach in the afternoon. So that's the plan for today as I slowly putz around my kitchen trying to find the things I need to get my butt out of here. Hi again. It is my special. Children are currently at gym. I did not vlog at lunchtime because I actually had a meeting with my team teacher during lunch. We were working on reading plans. And it's funny because yesterday and today, I did more of almost like a traditional reading program where you do some worksheets together, you read together. I was really trying to keep the children focused and calm. That was the goal for Halloween yesterday. That was kind of the goal for today, the day after Halloween, when half the class is on a sugar buzz and the other half is catatonic because they stayed up way past their bedtimes last night. Well, I can't believe I'm saying this because it actually goes against my teaching style. But yesterday's and today's reading lessons are like the best reading lessons we've had this year. I am not joking. And I'm not saying, oh, I'm not going to teach a reading series, but I'm thinking that I might pull just a little bit more from the reading series. I'm not a worksheet kind of a teacher. I'm really not a worksheet kind of a teacher. However, with the worksheets, I am able to work on handwriting practice. I mean, much more than I am regularly. Usually I send handwriting home for homework. I do, because there's not enough time in the day. But even though we're just writing like 6 words on the paper, I'm able to model the way to make those letters. I have enough time. I should go back and have a kid erase it and fix it and do it the right way. So I'm modeling handwriting, manuscript. I am having them read their word wall words and their snap words because the worksheets contain all of the words currently on our word wall. And usually we just practice the word wall words like once a day for about 4 minutes. We go through them, we say them several times each, we'll use 1 or 2 in a sentence, and then we move on. Well, the worksheet is using the word wall words multiple times. We read that sentence, we find what's wrong with it. I mean, it's weird. It's with doing a worksheet here and there, I find that we're really able to tackle the words, tackle the concept of sentences, tackle handwriting, and tackle things like punctuation in a way that seems to be almost a little bit more effective than what I have been doing with just doing Reader's Workshop and Writer's Workshop. Again, I am not saying I'm giving up Reader's Workshop. No. I believe in Reader's Workshop. I know it's really valuable. However, having said that, I'm seeing with my first graders, and mind you, these children, the vast majority of them, with the exception of like 3 kids who came in this room at like a DRA 6, the rest of these children came to me at a DRA 4 or lower. And for a DRA 4, they only really have to read the word no, in that test kit for the DRA 4. The only word they're really reading is no. So most of these children came to me knowing the word I, and no. That was it, except for 3 kids in the whole room. So as much as I believe in Reader's Workshop, as much as I want to teach Reader's Workshop, at the end of the day, giving them just a bucket with like 10 to 15 books that are levels A, B, C, D in the buckets, and having them start reading, it's been a struggle. It really, really has been a struggle this year because they didn't have any sight words. I mean, no sight words. Not even the word the or to. I've had to teach all that. So this is my first time doing Reader's Workshop with first graders. I've been doing it with second grade and fourth grade for years and years and years now. First time doing it with first graders. I am not lying when I say I'm taking all this information that I am gathering right now, I am tucking it away in my brain, and I'm storing this information for next year. I am seriously contemplating next year when I get my new firsties that I might not start Reader's Workshop right away, that I may actually focus on the reading series and focus on sight words or snap words or word wall words, whatever you call them, and focus on that. Focus on a couple of worksheets where we write the word I 4 times and read it in a very small sentence. You know, I am, there's like a picture of a star. I am, and there's a picture of a girl. So I think some of those foundation skills, if I had done those this September, might have made the transition a little easier, especially when you consider that many of the children in this room, not all, but about 8, there's like 8 kids in this room who have never been to school ever, ever, ever before. And so the concept of even just sitting in a chair, sitting quietly, waiting turns, what is a pencil? I mean, I seriously had like 4 kids who were like, what do I do with this? So if I find myself in a situation like this next year where I have a bunch of children new to the country, new to schooling, yes, I am thinking next September, the reading series, because the reading series starts off very basic, just a couple of letters, a couple of sounds, a couple of words, and you start to build it from there. And then once they have some sight words under their belt, that's when they can start to be a lot more successful in those little books. You know, if you have no sight words, even if you have a book that says, you know, mom is driving, mom is swimming, mom is cooking. Well, if they don't know the words mom and is, the whole book kind of becomes a little pointless and redundant. So yes, everything that they are learning, as they learn, I am learning. And I plan on putting all of this to use to make modifications for next year. The first year you're in a grade level, even if it's a grade level you've taught before, the first year you're back in a grade level and you've new curriculum and new programs, that year's always going to be a learning curve year. You're learning as you go along, and then you will make it better choices or modify next year to service yourself and the students better. Good morning, happy Friday. Sorry I did not vlog yesterday. Yesterday, honestly, I just never had an opportunity. In the morning, I came in and I was really swamped. I had to get some things done, some things run off the copy machine. And so once I got in the room, it was like hustle, hustle, hustle. Plus, I didn't get here early. I got here at normal time, which is just 1 hour before, although that kind of happened again today. And then we had indoor recess, so I wasn't free to vlog at recess yesterday because it was pouring the rain. And then during my special, I had an IEP, so that took up my entire special or prep time yesterday. And next thing I knew, the day was over and I had never turned on the camera. There was just no opportunities. Where's my trash can? There was no opportunities yesterday for vlogging. This morning, I am a little hectic and scatterbrained. Okay, I had a trash can. It was right here. It's been here for 3-4 years. My trash can is gone. There it is. Why is it at the other door? I have no clue. Okay, so custodian said move the trash can. But so this morning, I am so bummed, guys. If you've been following my vlog for a little while or a long while, you guys know I have this one water cup that I love. It was my pink plastic bandeau one with the flowers. And I used to even get my nail polish to match my cup because I love that cup so much. Well, this morning I did a classic brain fart. I lugged all my stuff out to the car, set the cup on the hood of my car, put all my stuff in the car. I got in the car and drove away. And the cup stayed on the hood of my car until I rounded the corner leaving my street, at which point I heard a thunk, 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 psh, and I'm like, did I just hit something? They're like, oh, my cup! And so I stopped the car, put on the blinkers, backtracked, picked up my cup. It was shattered. It's like, no, I loved that cup. I loved it. I mean, it's just a cup. I get it. This is stupid. And maybe if I look online, I might maybe be able to replace it. I don't know. Although I've had that for a while now. The print is probably no longer available. But I was bummed. I was so bummed because I've had this cup for at least a year, if not longer. So yeah, my cup is smashed. I am not happy. But so today is Friday, and Fridays are always a little crazy because my special is in the morning, not in the afternoon, and because it's early release day. Plus today we are doing a test this morning. I will be calling the kids one at a time to test them on their vocabulary words. These are like our word wall snap words that we've been learning since the first day of school, and I sent this home last week Friday with a big note saying test. This is a huge report card grade because this is all of the words that are on the word wall. We've been practicing forever. Please, please, please study these words at home with your children because they will be tested on the words. And so today and Monday, I will be testing the kids on whether or not they know those snap words. And for this test, some of our snap words are what we call red words. You have to memorize them, you can't sound them out. And then half the words on the word wall are words that you can sound out. But for the purpose of the snap word test, there will be no sounding out. They either see the word can and say the word can, and they get credit for the word, or they go k, a, n, can. If they do that, they're actually not getting credit for knowing that snap word because snap words need to be instant. That's a big part of our reader's workshop here that, yes, there are a lot of picture clues. You can use your phonetics. You can use your sounds to get through the words. But at the same time, you have to have just a core of sight words to your vocabulary that you need to know instantly. And the word and can and big and see are technically phonetic, but I don't want you sounding them out for the purposes of this test. You either know it or you don't. So that's the big thing on the agenda for today. I will also be doing a phoneme test later today where basically I say sounds and they need to write the letter that makes that sound on their papers. So that's the second thing I'm doing for assessment today. So one is an oral test, the other one is a written test because it's getting really close to report cards. So it's time to get in those big assessments to know how my kiddos are doing to get their grades in. Because I do collect work samples. I collect some samples every week, but it's that time of year where it's time for the big assessments, the big ones.
Sometimes when you're here, I can feel no doubt, 'cause you keep me where the stars are found. It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, 'cause you're here with me now. It doesn't really matter, 'cause I feel so free now.
So I am new to this science curriculum this year. Last year I got all the training required for the 4th grade science. All the teachers in the building were sent to in-service trainings for the science curriculum. And I knew the 4th grade in and out. This year I'm teaching the 1st grade. I did not get trained in 1st grade. And I'll be honest, we got this thing called Hope Science. It's rather confusing at times. And so, there's like 9 activities that we're supposed to do next week for feathers. And the feathers activities, all 9 of them are supposed to happen in one day. No, there's like no flippin' way I can do 9 experiments with feathers. Whoops, let me put this down. Sorry about that, I had to get the camera off the tripod. There's like no way on earth I can do 9 centers on feathers in a single science lesson. That's not happening. At the same time, I don't want to spend 9 days doing 9 centers either. So I'm going to have to pick and choose the ones I think are the most relevant. But then I just went through the science kit, and these are our feathers. This is what's in the science kit. Okay? And if you look at the objectives for the centers-based lessons, it's a lot more specific than just this. You know, you're supposed to have a variety of bird feathers. You're supposed to have flight feathers, down feathers, warmth feathers. You are supposed to have feathers with like zippers in them. It's a term. And so this is kind of a joke for everything we are supposed to do with feathers for next week. So I'm thinking this weekend I will be sending my boys into the woods at our house and telling them that, you know, I'll give you a quarter for every feather you find. Go find me some feathers because I need a lot of them. And I need a lot of them for Tuesday. Tuesday's the day we're doing the feather activity. So, yeah. My munchkins are at special, and I wanted to show you real quick if I can find them. Aha, here they are. I had all these grandiose plans of like typing up this beautiful grid sheet with our words on it and making a proper looking test. And real life kind of got in the way. I've been crazy busy. So here's what I did. I literally, these were the words that were run off for the kids for our first vocabulary inventory quiz. And I literally took these sheets, shrunk them down 50%, which basically allowed all 4 of them to be put on one page. And then as they said them, if they got it right, we left alone. If they made a mistake, we just circled it in pencil. And I wrote their name, date, and their final grade over here in the bottom corner. Because I just did not have time to make this beautiful, professional looking test. And you know what? I slapped this together at the last second, and it works. Sometimes you just gotta slap it together and it'll work. The kids don't care what the paper looks like. They really don't. The parents aren't going to care what the paper looks like. At the end of the day, I gave my test and I know who knows what. It's done. Also, I apologize for my hair. Last night was one of those nights where I was did 2.5 hours of schoolwork, and then I spent like an hour and a half cleaning the house, and I looked in the mirror and it's like, you really should wash your hair because, yeah, it's flat as a pancake. I thought, nah, I got dry shampoo. Let's push it one more day. Because you can always get one more day out of that hair. You know you can. It may not look that good, but yeah, whatever. Sorry about that. My camera just shut off. As I was saying, last year we had several lockdowns. In fact, we've had multiple lockdowns every year for about the last 3 years. But last year we had one that was truly insane. It lasted about 2.5 hours long. SWAT teams, dogs, helicopters, the buildings surrounded. I mean, that happened last year and we were kind of trapped in our rooms for about 2.5 hours. Now, for the teachers who are in the portables, it wasn't that bad because we have access to a bathroom and a sink. So when the children needed to take care of things, they were able to do so. But we did have to have like lights out, we stayed quiet and things like that. And it was a very scary situation. However, for the students who were in the main building, it was a completely different story. They were trapped in their classrooms for like 2.5 hours with no access to bathrooms or water. So it was a big deal. Plus, the lockdown happened literally about 10 minutes before the first lunch was due to happen. So no food, no water, no bathrooms. And the children were miserable. And the teachers were miserable because the children were miserable. So after all of those lockdowns last year, after all of those interruptions, after all the delayed lunch periods, it was decided that we needed to implement strategies to make sure those situations didn't happen anymore. Obviously, we cannot stop lockdowns from happening. You know, if some crazy person decides to call the police station and say, hey, so-and-so just ran into the building and he's armed, or they call the principal letting them know, there's a bomb threat. We have no control over what other people's actions are. The only thing we can control is our response to those actions. So our district, not just my building, but our entire district has adopted the ALICE program policy as a way of preparedness. It really is. So there are items in this bucket to really help. One of the first things we have are these ropes with hooks on them. They are an additional way to secure the doors so that the doors cannot be forced open. We also have in here a medical kit. Band-aids, wraps, thermal blankets, gauze, surgical gloves, alcohol wipes, things that would be necessary in an emergency situation. And then there's also some lollipops in here, because last year when we had the 2.5 hour lockdown, there are several diabetic children on campus. So those children were suddenly like in some dire situations because they did not have access to food or their medications. So they put, whether you have little mints or lollipops, there's at least some kind of sugar in the ALICE bucket. I also went a step farther. We have breakfast in our classrooms every day, and my children never actually eat all the food that arrives for breakfast. So things that are non-perishable or have a very, very long shelf life, I've kept the extra ones. So I have here apple cinnamon Cheerios cereal bars. And then I have a bunch of these I've collected. These Uber cinnamon rounds. The kids love these, and they don't expire for a very long expiration date. So I just kept them. Now, like a month from now, when I think these might start to go bad, I'll pull them out of the bucket and pass them out as a snack in the afternoon, and I will put fresh items in the bucket as I get bars or things that have a long shelf life. And then for the teachers inside, there are several bottles of water. And no, there's not enough for every kid to have a whole bottle, but at least the teacher can pour some into a Dixie cup and give the kid a sip of water while they wait out the process. So everything was in this bucket for me, except for the breakfast bars that I saved myself to throw into this bucket. So even if your school is not part of the ALICE program, but if you are concerned about lockdowns or emergency situations, this did not cost a lot. The bucket is probably $5 from Lowe's or Home Depot, and then your school probably already has an assortment of these things that you can just collect, put in a Ziploc bag, stick it in the bucket. And then if for whatever reason you have to go on lockdown, you know that you have a bucket of food, water, medical supplies, just things that you would need in the event where you have no access to the office or no access to bathrooms or water. I actually think this was a great idea, and I've been meaning to share it with you guys for a while. I just kept forgetting to talk about it. And the reason I just talked about it just now was because I came back to my classroom and I saw that our school restorative practices person came in and dropped some materials on my desk. So I saw this, it's like, oh, now's a great time to talk about the ALICE bucket. And ALICE is an acronym. It does stand for something, and I will be honest, I can't tell you what ALICE stands for at the moment, but I'm sure you can probably Google it and find out what the letters in ALICE stands for. But so, yeah, it's a great program, and especially if you have children with medical issues, it's vital. I've had a couple of diabetic children over the years and a child with glycemia problem. And I mean, I can't tell you how many times we had to call an ambulance because the children, they crashed. So I was fortunate and I got another little table. It's a round one. It's currently upside down because I was going to adjust the legs. The legs are adjustable, and at the moment they are way too low. Of course, I have a Phillips screwdriver, it's a little teeny tiny one, but I actually need one of those little Allen wrenches that have the six-sided hexagon. So that is a bummer. I will have to adjust the table come Monday. I love my tables that I got from donorschoose.org, but these are not the original tables I wanted for the class. I initially wanted a full class set of these. They're called the cloverleaf tables, but when it was time to order the tables, Amazon.com no longer had them in stock, and they were going to be out of stock for like 2 months. And Donors Choose was like, you got to spend this money now, like right now. You got to spend it. You only have like a 30-day window to spend it, and if you don't spend the money, we will take it back and give it to another teacher with a worthy cause. So I had no choice but to get these tables so that I would have tables for my classroom. But the problem with these tables is they are super duper light. They worked great when I was teaching 4th grade. They really did. The 4th graders sat at them, and yeah, they moved the table around a little here and there, but it was no big deal. I mean, when I say they would move the table, I mean they would move it like a couple of inches to the left or the right, and you just have to kind of bump it back into place. With my little 1st graders, these children, they want to lay on the table half the time. You know, they stand up and they just kind of lay on the table, they stretch, they move constantly, and I've joked with my teachers that these tables, as much as I like them, it's like the ocean. They just go to the left, and then the wave goes back to the right. And I swear by the end of the day, you're almost seasick because the room moves to the left, and then all the furniture moves to the right. And it just keeps going and going and going. And I'm so tired of the children saying, Miss Bietler, he pushed the table into me, because they move so doggone easy. So I am actually toying with the idea of maybe putting together another Donors Choose project, because I'm hoping the cloverleaf tables would now be in stock, because I would only need, let's see, I have one, 2, 3, 4, but those seat 4, not 6. So this is 20. I would need 6 of them. Yeah, that would be awesome. Because I don't need the chairs. That was the most expensive part of my Donors Choose, was purchasing all the chairs. I could not believe the price of chairs. These black tables were only like $45 a piece, because they're cheap. Whereas these tables were like $177 each, but they were out of stock. So, because these tables came with chairs as a set, and the chairs were cheaper buying them with the table. But once you had to buy the chairs independently without tables, the chairs like doubled in price. So the most expensive thing I bought with Donors Choose was all of these chairs. These tables were fairly cheap in comparison, because really they're the kind of tables that you would put up at like a party. You know, they're collapsible. So I'm not sure I'm gonna do it, but I'm actually toying with the idea of putting up a Donors Choose to try once more to get the right kind of furniture for my classroom. The thing I liked about the Clover tables was that they're adjustable. So if you're teaching 1st grade, yeah, drop them down. If you're teaching 4th grade, you bump them up. They are universal. With these, the party tables, they are one height, and that is tall. And that's part of the problem. Because they're so tall, they kind of come up to the children's chest. So when they lay, they really do just move all the furniture out of the way. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. My day is over. My munchkins have gone home, and I'm about to go to my PLC. And I'm fighting a yawn. I am tired. I am so tired, and I realized why. I worked all 5 days this week. And that may sound silly, like, yeah, you worked all 5 days, but it's the first time in a couple of weeks I have, because 2 weeks ago I missed days for being sick. Last week I missed days for being sick. And so, yeah, I worked all 5 days this week, and it's Friday, it's the end of the day, and I have reached Friday teacher tired. And that is a serious, serious teacher tired. So I'm going to wrap up this video, though, because I want to try to edit it and get it posted for tomorrow morning. Wish me luck. I'll have to do it after Casey gets home from karate. But so I hope you enjoyed this week's vlog. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me in the future, click the subscribe button. And if you have comments, please listen down below. I would love to read them. Talk to you later.